What is it you'd like Mr. Obama to do?
Well, he make a promise and he doesn't come his promise true. So
what was the promise you were waiting for him to hold?
He was saying, "Oh, I'm going to work in legalization." There's too many people, you know.
Well, he's tried, hasn't he? I mean, he tried to pass the DREAM Act.
Something fair to give him some help to people who doesn't have documentation and stuff like that. If people is not criminals, I think, and they work so hard, why not?
Okay. What do you think would be fair? We've got maybe 12 million illegal aliens in the country.
Yes.
What would be fair?
To me, it's if he, people that is making good, working so hard, two jobs, I think they deserve an opportunity. People that doesn't have a criminal record or anything like that, and work and work and work.
Well, there are lots of people who don't have criminal records who are in the country unlawfully, but they do drive without licenses. A lot of them are using social security numbers that have been stolen.
Yes.
A lot of other people have had American-born children and have signed up for WIC programs, costing public education. Is that something you take into the calculation, or that's not part of your thing?
Well, it's a whole bunch of the things that we can talk about it, but we have to see 200, 300 years ago, people coming to the United States from Europe. They doesn't have anything.
What can you tell me about the DREAM Act? Okay. The DREAM Act. You got a gentleman here in Orange County who's advocating for the DREAM Act. Are you part of the OC Dream Team?
Yes, I am.
Okay, let's talk about something regional first, the California DREAM Act.
Okay. Well, the California DREAM Act would allow undocumented students to receive financial aid. I think, for the most part, the one that's been passing all the legislation.
This is the one Gil Cedillo was championing, right?
Well, there's two. One would give Cal grants, the other one would just give institutional financial aid.
That's right.
So it would just give aid from the university's money.
Let me ask you this, regarding especially the UCs, to a lesser degree the Cal State University system, but particularly the most exclusive ones, UCSD, UCLA, and Cal Berkeley, aren't they right now increasing the number of out-of-state students that they've got so they can get extra tuition because they've got a substantial shortfall in finances that goes into the tens of millions of dollars?
Yeah, but that's not our problem. That's not our fault.
Justice for whom?
For everybody.
Who does that include? You didn't come out and march for everybody, did you?
Well, we came out here for people who are being having their cars pulled over by the cops and having it detained for not being able to get a license.
Okay.
Even though, I mean, they tried to, but they can't.
Yeah. Should people without licenses be able to drive on California roads?
It depends. Do they have licenses from other countries that have certified them to drive?
Yeah.
Also, let's think about the public transportation system in Orange County.
Yeah.
The public transportation here is so-so at best.
Yeah.
So, you know, for many people, including, I'm sure you drive to work as well.
You're right.
You know, that's the only way they could work.
Well, there's also this to it. There's no question, Southern California is a car location. They don't have public transportation. It's not Tokyo, it's not New York. But the majority of people who are getting pulled over who don't have licenses and Californians, they're illegal aliens who shouldn't be inside the country.
Well, let's think about that.
Okay.
We're focusing on so-called illegal aliens, or undocumented people.
Okay.
For years, these people have been coming across the border, mainly porous border, for years.
Okay.
That had no real, very either lax legislation, no legislation to go back and forth. And it's usually seasonal. They come here to work and they go back.
Okay. But we have a permanent population that numbers in the millions here in the United States of illegal aliens. It's hardly 50 years ago where you had most of the people who were undocumented coming into the country, going onto the fields, and then leaving in the winter.
That's true, but the economic situation's also a bit different.
Yeah.
corporations, United States corporations and businesses are going into Mexico thanks to NAFTA.
Okay.
So the people there, they're being caused by work that doesn't help them survive, just like corporations here pay us. And so where do they go? They need to find a place for them to work to survive. So they go where it's logical. They'll go to a place where historically there's been a connection, the United States and Mexico. The United States would import workers through the Bracero program.
Let me ask you this. I'm an American. What happens if I go down to Mexico and I'm driving without a license on insurance?
Well, you probably might get arrested.
Let's move on to another subject. Okay, let's talk about the National Dream Act.
Right.
I believe it has been submitted to Congress 4 or 5 times. It's been rejected on each occasion. Why do you think that is?
People are afraid.
Afraid of what?
Republicans especially are afraid.
Of?
Well, what's going to happen if all these undocumented people become legalized? Well, we're going to live in a more progressive country, right?
We're going to live in a more what?
In a more progressive country that cares more about people than about corporations and money.
Okay. The DREAM Act is something that would give provisional residency to individuals who are in the country unlawfully, and then they either serve a period of military service or they complete X amount of school.
Right.
Does a person to qualify for the DREAM Act, do they have to graduate from a university?
Well, yeah, that's the whole point, right?
They do?
Yeah.
Okay. Does a person to qualify for the DREAM Act, do they have to graduate from a university?
Well, yeah, that's the whole point, right?
They do?
Yeah.